Replacing Manifestations. I'm Brian Withers, empowerment coach, trainer, and author. Well, the message of this video is to make sure you're clear that your whole life is a manifestation. That's why it's kind of weird for people to say, I'm going to manifest something. Your whole life is a manifestation. I mean, all the stuff that's going on, it's not that some of it's a manifestation and some of it is, well, I don't know what it could be if it wasn't a manifestation, but it's all a manifestation of your energy. And so it's manifesting in accordance with your beliefs, really, for the most part, at this juncture in humanity, where we're starting to learn to use our conscious thinking mind intentionally and masterfully. Right now, the dominant energy that's really coming out of your subconscious mind in terms of those beliefs, whatever they are, faulty or natural, that's really what's going on in your life. That's the energy, the dominant energy to the law of attraction. And then it's, as we see here, you see we're constantly broadcasting energy, and really it's our beliefs. That's the auto thought energy. That's what a belief is, an auto thought. And so it just keeps broadcasting and broadcasting and broadcasting. And the law of attraction picks that up. And then it puts you together with things in the physical reality that match that. And so you can see why we want to change our subconscious beliefs and make sure they support and are in alignment with the things that we want, so that the law of attraction is connecting us with all of that good stuff. But it's all about replacing the manifestations, because everything in your world is the manifestation of your energy. And so how do you replace a manifestation? Well, clearly you change the energy within yourself, the way that you're thinking about things. So, I mean, if you're thinking about some aspect of your life, friends, relationships, health, business, whatever, and you're telling a story about it that is a story that is not what you want. So you're focusing in a way that's has you thinking about that thing or that person in a way that's low vibration. Well, now it's going to remanifest in the same old way. So not only do we want to think about replacing the manifestation, but we want to also be aware that a given manifestation in your life is not a static thing. It's a remanifestation constantly over and over and over, because you keep telling the same story and the energy keeps manifesting into the same thing over and over and over. It's even though the situations in your life you might think, well, they've been there for a long time, they're not. They're a new version, constantly a new version, because they're manifesting constantly and just being replaced with the same old energy. But we want to change the energy so the manifestation comes in a new way. So again, one thing we do a lot, you'll find people a lot do, is define people in our life. We talk about the people in our life, and we have a story about them and a way we think about them. And then they just keep being that way because that's the way that we're thinking about them. And so that's the connection that we keep having. But, you know, it's not about them, really. They're just showing up in relation to the vibration. They just happen to have that vibration that we're talking about and being a match to. So they keep staying there in the same way. But if we want relationships in our life to change, then we want to think about people in all good feeling ways and let the law of attraction then make the connections with the people that match our vibration. And it might be those same people at a higher vibration, or it may be different people. But you want to make sure that you're talking about the people in your life in a way that is going to feel good to you. Now, you could live next door to somebody and you might be thinking, oh, that's a grumpy neighbor and they are this and they are that. And my recommendation is you call them Mr. Sunshine, right? Create a story about how completely shift your energy about that person. And it goes against everything that you've probably learned to think of somebody as Mr. Sunshine when their behavior is nothing like that. But you got to remember, they came to you in that way because that old grumpy way, because you matched that vibration. That was your energy that put you together with them in that way. So if you start a new story and focus on ways and think about them in ways that are more of a sort of a Mr. Sunshine way, then you're going to connect with that experience. Now, it may not be with that person, but things are going to happen, and you're going to have the experience of a Mr. Sunshine or a Miss Sunshine, whichever it is. But if that's the way you're thinking about people, even despite their behavior, then it's going to change. It has to change, because the energy is the thing that's broadcasting that brings the manifestation. So we're going to replace the manifestation, you see. That's what we're going to do. See, we're changing the projector by changing our thoughts, our beliefs. We're changing the projector, and then there's a new manifestation that comes to planet Earth in our life. So that's the way that you replace manifestation. So, your physical life is like a flowing river. It's not static at all. It's the remanifestation of the same energy until you change the energy, and then it will manifest differently. You see, everything is a reflection of the energy within you. So you want to get new stories about the things. If watch the way you're talking about your business, watch the way you're talking about your family, watch the way you're talking about relationships. Make sure it's not you're not getting, as I said in my last video, you're not being taken hostage by physical reality, right? You don't want to let physical reality get in your head and be the reason you think the way that you think. If something in your physical reality is not the way you want it to be, well, it's that way because of your energy, and the only way it's going to change is if you change the energy within yourself by telling a new story, thinking about people in a different way, thinking about situations in a different way, and then they can begin to change in the way that they're manifesting. And that means you're replacing the current manifestation with a new version, a different version of the situation. So if you own a business and you've got employees, and you've got a story about your employees, and it's one that you know very clearly whether it's high vibration or low. If it's low vibration, then it doesn't matter how many employees you go through, it's going to always be that experience until you tell a story about, well, my employees are this and that, and you put labels on them that are positive and uplifting and all the good stuff. And even in the face of your current circumstances where you're seeing them do something completely different, low vibration, you're going to tell a high vibration story at the same time. You're going to redefine them. You're going to redefine the way that you have those people in your mind, and you're going to redefine the way that other circumstances in your life run. See, this is the mastery of life, is to think from within yourself when the physical world is not the way you want it to be, and then that's how you replace a current manifestation, right? So again, look at the way your life is manifesting, and if you don't like it, that means you're thinking about it in ways that match the way it is that you don't like. And of course, that just keeps it manifesting the same way. So you got to change. You could be sleeping on a park bench, and if you wanted to have a better accommodation, if you want something better, then you got to go in your mind, and you got to talk about the experience of what you want, and you got to feel it. You got to talk about it in that kind of way, so that law of attraction doesn't know what you're thinking about, and it just knows the feeling that you have, but your inner being knows what you want, so it's got it set up. So if you're talking in a way that you're feeling good, law of attraction will connect you with that path to the thing that you want. So you end up off the park bench with the old manifestation, the current manifestation of the park bench, and you replace that park bench with a house. See, and you do that from within yourself. You do that by setting the energy differently in yourself, and then you're in the house instead of on the park bench. See, you're the creator of your reality, and you do it with your energy. But if you look at the park bench and you just talk about the park bench and how terrible it is and uncomfortable it is and everything about that, then it can't change, because you keep allowing that experience in the physical world to dominate you in terms of the way you're thinking about life and your accommodation there. And so it's just going to keep being the same until you are able to entrain yourself to look at what it is that you do not like and tell a different story at the same time, and then finding appreciation for that thing that's there. That is the way that you replace a manifestation. So if you have some things in your life that are going on and you would like to replace them, so if there's some current manifestations going on that you're not liking, then and you want to replace them, then you've got to go inside and change the energy, kind of like this projector movie screen thing. And even in the face of it, the way that it is, you got to project a different energy that will cause the replacement of that manifestation. Okay, that's the message for today. Thanks for listening in. If you have any questions, leave them on the post, and enjoy your day.